We've all been told the same lie. To be a great interviewer, to really command a room, you need to show up with a list of great questions. We prep these deep, intellectual queries like we're trying to win a Pulitzer. But here's the truth from the world of oral history. If you start with a good question, you've already lost control of the room. Most people think authority is about output, speaking, directing, asserting, but real authority, the kind that makes the subject open up and give you the gold, is established through the silence between the questions. Today I'm going to show you why your best questions are actually barriers and how to build true authority by doing the one thing most people are too insecure to do: listening. When you lead with a complex, multi-part, smart question, what are you actually doing? You're performing. You're trying to prove to the subject that you've done your homework. The problem? You just signaled that you are the protagonist of this conversation. You've set a ceiling on what they can tell you. They are now answering your script rather than telling their story. Here are the key points. The performance trap. Good questions are often just ego checks for the interviewer. The narrowing effect. Complex questions force the subject into a specific cognitive track, often skipping emotional nuance. Authority isn't proving you know the answers. Authority is creating a space where the subject feels it is safe and necessary to tell the truth. So how do we establish authority without talking? We use generative silence. In oral history, we don't just wait for our turn to speak. We listen with our eyes and posture and our presence. This is where the shift happens. When you stop rushing to the next good question, the subject realizes you aren't there to check boxes. You're there to witness. Here are the techniques. The 2-second rule. When they finish a sentence, wait 2 seconds longer than is comfortable. Visual active listening. Nodding is fine, but the lean is better. The echo using their last 3 words as a bridge rather than a new question. If you aren't starting with good questions, what do you start with? Simple ones. The most authoritative interviewers start with the grounding facts. Where were you standing? What was the weather like? These aren't smart questions. They're functional, but they do something brilliant. They move the subject out of their rehearsed brain and into their sensory brain. By asking the simple stuff first, you demonstrate that you care about the accuracy of their world, not just the cleverness of your own. In any room, the person who is most comfortable with silence has the most power. If you are frantic, checking your notes, interrupting to clarify, trying to keep the momentum, you look like an amateur. True authority is the ability to hold the silence until the subject feels it was something they didn't intend to say. That extra information, that's where the history is. That's where the truth is. Stop trying to be the smartest person in the room. The good questions will come, but they should come from what the subject just said, not from your notebook. Next time you sit down for an interview or even a high-stakes meeting, try this. Start simple, stay quiet. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. You'll find that people don't just give you better answers, they give you their respect. If you want to dive deeper into the specific prompts we use to unlock sensory memory in oral histories, I put up a starter kit link in the description below. Build the record, don't just take the notes. I'll see you in the next one.